Hey, what's going on, guys? Kieran from Fingers Crossed, and today another Gren Maju video. It's in the Gren Maju week, and today we've got Gren Maju stun, just a normal stun, not like I've done Numeron stun on Tuesday, I believe. This is just normal stun. So I've got my coffee. It's the morning. I'm ready to just present this for you guys. And just first thing though, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, helps the channel out, really appreciate it. And also, I've had a couple of people ask about my playmat, so I did mention in another video, but I did make it myself. I designed it myself, and if you guys want it, then let me know in the comment section down below, and I can try and get them to be available for you guys to buy, always as cheap as possible. I'm not looking to make any profit from them, really. I just want, if you guys like it and you want them, that's good enough for me. If you guys want to use a playmat that I designed, that's pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, so let me know if you do want the playmats to be available. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll get them as soon as possible from the best place. This one, it looks nice on camera, but it's a little bit blurry, so I might need to find somewhere else to print from. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this Gren Maju stun. Okay guys, so Gren Maju stun. Let's just jump straight into it and get it done. Let's get this shown. So, as per 3 Gren Maju, gains 400 attack and defense for each banished of your cards. Only 2 babies in this one, because you'll see that it kind of conflicts with a couple of other cards that I have inside the deck. So here obviously you have to banish 5 cards, usually from your extra deck, from your hand, field or extra deck, and then you can special summon it, at least 5. So you can banish more if you want to, but yeah, it kind of conflicts with some of the other cards that I have, so we'll just wait and see. So then again, only 2 Gizmek, because we are playing a stun variant, so I don't want to banish all of my traps. So yeah, I only play the 2 Gizmek in this build. But of course, 3 shifter, absolute staple in Gren Maju in my opinion, has to be done, has to be in every single Gren Maju build. Well, majority of Gren Maju builds, you can't play in Numeron, but because this is just the best hand trap, just stops and stuns so many decks, because so many rely on their graveyard, it's unbelievable. So 3 shifter, okay, onto stun, 3 Inspector Border. So I like Inspector Border more over Fossil Diner, because just for the 2000 attack and defense, because it's pretty hard to beat over. There's not many normal summons. I don't think if there is any normal summons that can beat over this, and so people just will not be able to go off and make their effects. Like, effects are important as well. Special summons, it'd be better if they could stop those, but maybe they'll bring out a variant of Inspector Border that stops special summons. That would be crazy. I would be buying that for sure. Then the 2 Fossil Diner. So I went for 2 Fossil Diner just because it's easier to summon than Vanity's Fiend. It stops special summons and destroy all summoned monsters on the field when it's flipped. Has come up. I've had, when I've played stun before, it has come up and I have wiped a field with that. So yeah, what more can you say about it? The only thing that is bad about Fossil Diner is its attack and defense. It's so small that it's just they can normal summon, beat over it, and then all you've done is survive a turn. And I don't really like that. I want to try and win in my follow-up turn, to be honest. So there's those. Then it is a stun variant. So I play Mystic Mine in my stun. It is what it is. Mystic Mine is a stun. It will stop them from attacking. It will stop them from special summoning. That's from using effects. And then to get to it, I play 2 Demise of Lands. I don't play Terraforming because on their turn I want to activate this after they've already committed a few summons, and then just want to stop them. Just want to shut them down. Yeah, I think it's so good, like to play like this. I know a lot of stun variants don't play Mystic Mine, but it's just an extra stun version. So yeah, I play those, and Mystic Mine are super cheap now that they got printed in the tins. Then of course, 1D fissure. It's a stun. Like any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So people that have to use basically their entire extra deck to combo off, then it's all getting banished. So Dimensional Shifter Fissure, is such a good one. Now for our draw power, there's a lot. So we've got 2 Pot of Desires, 2 Pot of Duality, and we've got 2 Pot of Extravagance. Now I understand Pot of Extravagance is not really affordable for a lot of people, so you can just play 3 and 3, or this is a 42 card deck, so you can just cut them out. I do try to make it a 42 card deck, so that if people want, they can just cut these out if they don't have them, because I know Pot of Extravagance, £20 is quite a lot for just a single card. But yeah, so I play these. Pot of Duality, it doesn't hinder this one because you don't special summon, so pretty good. Other than Gizmek and Eater, but just don't use it if you've got those to summon. Pot of Desire is absolute staple in most Gren Maju decks. Make sure Gren Maju 4000 attack even if you do not get to draw 2 cards. And Pot of Extravagance is just a good way to draw cards, especially considering in the stun variant your extra deck is not really needed. So you'll see why, like in the stun version, it's just not. So that's what we have for the draw power. Then moving on, just to try and see if maybe we do need the draw to search for a couple of more of our traps, or we just need to search for our Gren Maju. So Called by the Grave, just to try and help that a little bit more. Try and get rid of their back row, because to be honest, if you're trying to go for game and you've got Gren Maju in your hand and you want to summon Gren Maju, but they've got back row, I would get rid of that back row, because Veiler's not as common, but Imperm is more common, and you just want to stop that Imperm. You just don't want to see that. So yeah, you just got to get rid of the Imperm just in case it's there, so you can try and OTK with Gren. Then moving on to our traps, and there's a few. We've got 2 different dimensional ground, because again, a lot of decks cannot play if all of their stuff is getting banished. They just cannot. So you just flip this in their standby phase and hope that they just set 1 pass. It's a great stun variant. It's a great option to have. It's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, it just stops a lot of decks. And if you guys are going to think about playing the stun variant, obviously this virtual world of setting another deck profile, they have to target a card on the field, then send to grave. This says they can't send to grave. So yeah, warning point, super good. It's better than Gnome, because you can set this and then it can be any summoned monster. So so for example, Invoked, they normal summon Alistair. Before you can Gnome that, warning point, you can. So that case, that will really hurt them. So just bear in mind. I am playing a few 2s because it's just difficult to get all the traps in that I want. And then obviously the new card that just came out of Phantom Rage, Banquet of Millions. Oh boy. So where we don't need our extra deck, Banquet of Millions comes in super handy. Obviously it does conflict with Pot of Extravagance and Eater of Millions, but if you draw this card, you're just using this one, to be honest. You're just going to banish your entire extra deck, banish all theirs, and then hope that you can hit them for game with Gren Maju. Because obviously their banished cards come back to them at the end of the turn, but your banished cards stay there. So that just gave your Gren Maju 6,000 attack. As you can see, 15, 6,000. Eh? See, the mech comes in use. Yeah, so absolutely great card, and so many decks rely on their extra deck. So, guys, honestly, such a good card, great card. Dogmatic Punishment. What more can you say? Dogmatic Punishment. I might have to change my extra deck around a little bit to have a better fuel for this card. I don't know what targets I have, but I'll have enough. But yeah, just to target one monster and destroy it. So just try and hold them, stop them, protect your stuff if you need to. Then the last few cards, play 2 strike. I don't play Judgment because Judgment is good and it is a great protection from spells and traps, but I don't want to pay half my life points to stop one card. Like, that is... Because then if they do, say you got Fossil Diner and they do get over your Fossil Diner, what protection do you have? So I'm not really a fan of Solemn Judgment. I see why sometimes it can be played, but again, I'm just not a fan. I think pay 1,500 life points is much better. So, yeah. Then the last 3 cards, Infinite Impermanence. So, if you can stop a card, then this is the way to do it. Like some decks, so Soul Day is a good one. If you imperm that, kind of hurts them a bit, unless they go into the second. But if you've got Fossil Diner, then they can't special summon, I guess. Well, I suppose they want to go into Soul Day. But yeah, Infinite Impermanence, one of the best hand traps in the game. You can swap this out for anything else. You can swap it out and maybe put Judgment in, or you can put another Dogmatic Punishment, or you can put in another Warning Point. It's up to you guys. Really, it's just personal preference, but I chose to play the Imperms just because it's just a little bit better at the moment, in my opinion. Yeah, moving on to the extra deck. Not that the extra deck is very important, but so because of extra deck, I do play 2 Link Karibo. Obviously, it does help if you've got Eater of Millions on the field and you just they're gonna get around it. Just try and get it, or if they give you a token or something like that, that's a good one. Relinquish Anima. Put those like that. Relinquish Anima. So if your opponent's been a bit daft and they've left their monster in the wrong position, use Eater of Millions, just scoop it up, let it become yours. Then another 2 of Topologic Zeraboros. I don't know how easy it will be to go into this to get 4 monsters on board. Or a Link and a couple of monsters, but it's there because it's a Gren Maju basically. Gains 200 attack for each banished card, and it banishes the whole field, so pretty good. Then we've got the Nightmare package. We've got Cerberus, we've got Phoenix, we've got Nightmare, and she can basically be called. So we've got monster removal, spell removal, spin. Then we've got IP. Should be Nightmare IP Masquerena, to be honest, because she's used a lot to go into the Nightmare. So that's what we've got there. We've got Barricade Board Blocker to protect our Mystic Mine if we really need to, if that's the route we want to go down. I suppose we've got Blackluster Soldier just in case we can go into 3, and it's just an annoying card to get rid of. Maybe IP and 1 more. Oh no, sorry, IP and 2 more to make it. Just a problematic monster, a big boss. Yeah, pretty good. And then the last 3 cards, I said to you before, whilst it is a thing, I will play these in most decks. Boom. Late Maximus U, Nova and Intis goes to the grave, Intis gets a pop, Nova summons Mechaba. Thanks for the free summon. Cheers, thanks for the free summon and pop. So, yeah, pretty good. I'm a fan. I am a fan of that little, what can you call it? This little combo thing. I don't know. Yeah, I understand this deck is quite expensive as well. Like, I'm not saying that it's fully, but obviously the Imperms, the BLS, the Extrav. There are other things you can take out. Like you could put it instead of Infinite Impermanence, you could put Ghost Mourner. It's a little. Well, I suppose that's still expensive. You could put in Effective Veiler, or again, you can just put Solemn Judgment or something like that. Blackluster Soldier, to be honest, it can be anything. You could put Avamax. Avamax is a good one to put in. It's quite cheap now because obviously it got reprinted. So that's a good one to put in. And you can just... sorry, I'm gone off the tip of my tongue. And you can just put something... you can remove a few of the other cards and put things in. More targets for your Dogmatic Punishment if you want. Maybe another Intis, because that's quite cheap now. But yeah, quite short this video. Stun, I feel like the stun videos are quite they're easier to do because it's just they have their simple game plan and they just go for it. That is it. They have their game plan, stop the opponent, try and attack. And I like the Gren Maju because I don't like the Geist ones. So like I played against Geist before, and Geist is pretty good at stunning the opponent. But I feel like where their hindrance is, they can't just do that deadly attack. They can't get that power on board and hit for game. Well, from that I've seen anyways. If I'm wrong, let me know, guys. What can they use to do some deadly damage? So whereas Gren Maju, if you can stun your opponent long enough to get a Gren Maju on field, you will have enough cards to banish to hit for game, 100%. So that's why I like the Gren Maju stun more than any other stun build, because just he's your win con. Stun your opponent long enough, get Gren on field, hit for game. So yeah, super. I'm happy you guys watched this video. If you've made it to the end and listened to me just jabber on at the end and natter away. If you don't know what those words mean, it's because unfortunately I'm English, so I use useless words sometimes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you guys want the mat to be available for you. Let me know. You can also let me know what sort of price you would want to pay, to be honest, and I'll try and see if I can get as close to that as possible. Obviously, I'm not looking to make too much profit, or any profit at all. Just if you guys want to use my playmat, that's pretty swell to me, to be honest. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned tomorrow for the next video, which is going to be Danger Gren Maju. So super excited for that one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.